Alexa Bliss made her second appearance on Raw, but did any story developed? We'll get into that topic in the latest on Sasha Banks and Naomi. Over the last few years, Alexa Bliss was always a lot of fun to talk about because she had become one of the most character-driven superstars in WWE. So there was constant theories, a certain aura and a mystique to her character. She had all these different abilities, mixed personalities, she had this evil object she was close to, all these little elements that made her character deep and very interesting. And that was the case up until the end of the therapy sessions. The therapy sessions didn't do much of anything, had zero payoff, and turned out to be pointless to Alexa's story. But one thing it did that was great was show us what was going on with the character's changing personality. But then, as soon as that ended, we haven't heard Alexa speak a single word since. She returned at Elimination Chamber, didn't say much, didn't show much change, loss, and then vanished for months. Then she returns on Raw a few weeks ago, and despite the directionless few months she had, fans still hoped that things would get back on track. Alexa's first entrance back was a bit interesting. She had new normal gear, a normal appearance, but still carried Lilly, and her theme song was a great mix of her two previous theme songs. And we talked about how great it was because it's probably a sign that Alexa herself would be a mix of both personalities, the same way her theme songs are from both eras that are mixed. But following that up a week later, and that mixed theme song is fully gone and replaced with a completely new theme song. Fans in the arena, of course, didn't recognize the song, so a lot of fans had no idea who was coming out there for a second. There's still some mixed reactions out there from the fans about Alexa's new theme. Obviously, she's been coming out to her iconic, spiteful theme song for 7 years now. So obviously it's going to take some time for the fans to grow into that new theme. But what was so unfortunate is that Alexa returns with a remix Spiteful. They hype you up with that, and then it's gone a week later. So that part is a bit unfortunate. But Alexa picks up the win over Sonya Deville for the second week in a row, and that was the end of Alexa's segment. So there's not much to talk about and break down with Alexa Bliss at this current moment. Sure, she's been back on WWE television for a few weeks now, but it sort of feels like we're still sitting around waiting for her story to start back up again, because we've gotten nothing so far. It's unknown if Alexa will still do editions of Alexa's Playground or not, but it would appear that WWE is done with the Alexa Playground segments. What makes the Playground segment so great was that it gave Alexa's character a platform to lay out some exposition and tell us what's on her mind, what she's thinking, and who she's after. So the Playground segments were great for character building and letting us hear from Alexa Bliss. It was a very unique way to give her promo time. But with these segments being gone, it looks like we'll have to wait for a backstage interview or in-ring promo segment to hear from Alexa Bliss now. So seeing her compete and win on Raw is great. But until we hear her speak, there's not much of anything to really discuss or break down. And it's unfortunately probably gonna stay that way. WWE is dealing with Sasha Banks and Naomi's situation in the tag team division right now. They're focusing on Ronda and Bianca's title reign. So Alexa Bliss isn't really their priority right now, and it shows, because obviously there's no detailed story for Alexa set in place right now. So maybe this is just how it's gonna be going forward. Maybe Alexa won't be the highly featured character-driven superstar that we've gotten used to seeing in 2020 and 2021 anymore. Maybe she'll just be that secondary role and won't have much of a detailed character and arc anymore. So it is unfortunate. All the Alexa Bliss theories and discussions over the last 2 years have been a lot of fun to go over, but it would appear that her character may not be that deep anymore going forward. But we'll still monitor the situation. If Alexa starts talking and starts hinting at interesting things again, then we'll definitely break it down and talk about it. But if they keep using her in this fashion, there just isn't much for us to go over from a character and storyline point of view. So that's the latest for Alexa Bliss. The Sasha Banks and Naomi situation has blown up over the last few days into one of the biggest wrestling stories out right now. It's getting press covered from the New York Post, E! News, and all these other outlets that have never acknowledged the existence of wrestling at all. That's how big this story has gotten. Several new reports and updates have been released over the last few days. The biggest question that some fans were asking was if this entire situation was just a work, if it was just fake and part of the storyline. The way WWE made everything unfold on live WWE television, the Corey Graves commentary remark, the official statement released by WWE after Raw, it had some fans convinced that this was part of the show. But according to all the new reports, this is not a part of the storyline and not part of the show. The entire wrestling universe on social media is all split up between people who support what Sasha and Naomi did and others who don't like it. According to reports, a lot of individuals and co-workers backstage were not in full support of what Sasha and Naomi did and had no sympathy for them. That's what the reports claim. Is it true or not? No one really knows, but that's what's being said. Some fans came after Corey Graves for his remarks on Raw about Sasha and Naomi walking out, being unprofessional. But Carmella stood up for her husband and reminded everyone that those comments didn't come from Corey Graves himself. It came from the people in his headset. Which is very true. Corey was only doing his job and repeating what he was told to say. So that didn't come directly from him. It was also reported that WWE had to refilm some of the backstage segments, like the Becky Lynch and Adam Pearce segment following Sasha and Naomi's walkout. At this current time, it's unknown when or if Sasha Banks and Naomi will ever return to WWE. The last Sasha Banks walkout lasted over 4 months, so there's no telling when this will be settled and put back to normal. Sasha and Naomi are both under contract, so they can't do much of anything outside of WWE right now. So it all comes down to who will reach out to who first. Will Sasha and Naomi come back to talk it out, or are they just done with the lies and the disrespect that they were talking about? Will WWE make the effort to reach out to them and make things right, or will WWE move right along, vacate the titles, and crown new champions? As of right now, no one knows where this is going and where it's going to end up at. Did we just see Sasha and Naomi's last appearance in WWE? Or will they be back next week, a couple of months, or will they just never be back? There's nothing but uncertainty all around this story right now for Sasha Banks and Naomi. It was also reported that Vince McMahon didn't have much of a reaction to the both of them walking out. Vince McMahon has dealt with Sasha's walkouts before, so maybe he's assuming she'll be back, and it's no big deal, but who knows? So the story is insane, and we'll have to continue to keep an eye on everything going on there with Sasha Banks and Naomi. But what are your thoughts on today's stories with Alexa Bliss and the latest on Sasha Banks and Naomi? Leave your comments below, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.